Hello, and welcome to a Paladin's Guide to Boom Boomism. No, okay. Well, let's talk about some balanced druids then. The Moonkins of the Pride of the Pack. So first and foremost, balance. I've been asked and requested to do video over this, so I am. So, like normal, we're going to go over the talents that I would choose. We're not going to cover the others, and you can get over it. Because this glyph is not... This video is not for me telling you about everything. There's plenty of that knowledge. This video is about me telling you what I would do, what I would pick, and then kind of going over the actual abilities, not so much the talents. Because more than likely, a lot of this will change anyway. But first and foremost, Tier 1, your movement type ability. For this we choose Wild Charge. Every spec gets a various type of this. It's on a 15-second cooldown, and based on your shapeshifting form, as I was just saying. So, for what we will be in, will be Boomkin, although we can change depending on what we need. So let's just go over all of these types. So first and foremost, non-shapeshifted, which would be Tree Trents and your regular shapeshift form, possibly even your flight form. Not sure, we'll have to test. It will fly you to your ally's position. I do not have an ally to demonstrate on, or I would. Bear Charge, or Bear Form, charge the enemy. This is the same as the Feral Charge currently in the game. On live. Cat Form, leap behind the target, dazing them for 3 seconds. Again, the same as currently. Moonkins, bound backwards. Or basically they do the exact same thing as a hunter with disengage. Travel form, leaps forward 20 yards. Pretty cool. We can actually show that one off right now. So yeah. Well, that failed. Well, maybe I should make sure that I'm on level ground. We will go back to that in just a second then. And then Aqua Form increases your swim speed by an additional 150% for 5 seconds. Pretty cool. I can think of some abuse for that, but pretty cool. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, let's even throw in a jump. There we go. Oh yeah. Kind of like a blink, basically. Oh, yeah, more of a blink. So let's look at the next one, which is in Centurion Ward. Wait, no, Cenarian Ward. Wow, my bad, not Centurion. Ooh, Roman mythology in my head. Okay, Cenarian Ward has a 30-second cooldown, protects a friendly target, causing any damage taken to heal the target for X amount for 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. Gaining the healing effect consumes the ward, usable in any shape-shifting form, and lasts 30 seconds. Similar to Earth Shield. Similar, except it goes away, so it's not quite as good as an Earth Shield, but it's kind of like an Earth Shield. Next is Typhoon. Summons a violent typhoon that strikes the target in front of the caster and knocks them back. Usable in all shape-shifting forms. Pretty useful, right? I mean, knocking players off ledges if you happen to be PvPing while leveling. Knocking a target back so that you can pop off a heal. Many uses. So for your level 60 ability, we pick up Soul of Forest, which provides various things, but we're only going to look at balance currently, because in the end, that's all that actually matters for us. When a lunar eclipse ends, you gain 20 solar energy. When a solar eclipse ends, you gain 20 lunar energy. We will have to get onto the topic of this later on, but for those of you Boomkins, you probably already know this, so I'll be wasting my time. This is also a good option, and it was close to my thing, but I like having some passive stuff because it can get a little crazy while leveling as is. So next is I'm gonna screw this up. Ursul's Vortex? Sounds good. This has been slightly modified, I believe, since the last time I looked at it, but still good nonetheless. It has a 1-minute cooldown, instant cast, 30-yard range. Conjures a vortex of wind at the destination location that reduces movement speed of all enemies within 8 yards by 50%. The first time an enemy attempts to leave the vortex, winds will pull the target back or pull the enemy back to its center. It lasts 10 seconds and, of course, usable in all shape-shifting forms. Good. Cool. Right. So, I didn't go over it, but this is basically your heal. This is basically a utility type thing. Makes a lot of sense, right? Or basically keeping something away from you. This is a DPS increase, and then this is a CC of sorts. And of course we have these later on, but we will get to that later, of course, because it's not in the game yet. Let us go over our major and minor glyphs. First and foremost, Glyph of the Moon Beast. You can now cast Healing Touch, Rebirth, Rejuvenation, and Tranquility without canceling Moonkin form. I actually did not see... I'll look in a minute. I didn't see Tranquility or any of them, but I'm sure they're probably there. Glyph of Stampede. You can now cast Stampeding Roar without being in bear or cat form. Pretty nifty, right? I think so. And last but not least, Glyph of Rebirth. Players resurrect by Rebirth by an extra return with 100% health. Nifty. Glyph of the Stars, while not important, that's kind of cool. Aqua form, again, not important, but you never know when you might want to jump in some water to avoid something. And last and not least, Glyph of Trent form. You know why? Because if this isn't in the game, I'm going to be sad. Oh, it is. Thank God. The only reason I ever leveled a druid. Oh, I love you, Trent form. You are amazing. Anyway, back on to our balancedness. So that's that, right? So let's take a look at... Actually, why are we even doing that? We got all our abilities that I noticed down here. So, most of this is pretty much the same nitty-gritty. Starfall, you summon a flurry of stars from the sky within 40 yards of the caster, and that you're in combat. Each one deals X amount of damage, maximum of 20 stars. Lasts 10 seconds, triggers a lunar eclipse. Triggering a lunar eclipse resets the cooldown of the spell. That may not have been in there. Shapeshifting into animal form or mounting causes the effect to cease or cancel. Any control of your character will suppress the Starfall ability. Pretty sure most of that's the same. I'm not quite sure about the lunar eclipse. I kind of hope not. I hope that's new because that's interesting. You do no longer have your insect swarm. Let me double check, but I did not see it. Let's run the right thing. No insect swarm. You do have lacerate. I would like to point out that you still have quite a few moves here. I guess, yeah, okay, there's Tranquility. Don't know how I quite missed that. Let's see, what else did I miss? Oh, yeah, Miss Rejuvenate. Rebirth, okay, I suck. Anyway, you do have quite a few abilities. You can still prowl. Oops, prowl in cat form. That's all good. It's all gravy. So your Moonkin form increases the spell haste of all party member and raid members. Shapeshifting into Moonkin form increases your arcane and nature damage that you deal by 10% and reduces all damage to you by 15%. Nifty. Moving back along to your abilities, Wrath generates 15 lunar energy and causes a fair amount of damage on a pretty low cast time. The same with your Starfall, except Starfall has a much longer cooldown and causes a lot more energy. And gives you 5 more solar power than it does the other. Star Surge is basically the same, hitting and increasing the opposite, or increasing whatever's more beneficial for you. So if you have more lunar power, it's going to generate lunar power. For example, we have lunar power currently, which is the sun. Your moonfire, go back here, burns the enemy with arcane damage initially, and then burns them for 12.36 seconds, affected by haste, with a good amount of damage. So these are most of your abilities, right? Well, let's go over some other things. Wild Charge, as I said, it bounds you backwards. You have to be in combat, and I don't feel like doing that quite yet. But where is that move? Oh, move, where did you go? Why is it I always misplace things? Well, there it is. But anyway, you do still have your wild mushrooms, which are cool. I've always liked that. And your detonate. And then you have your celestial alignment, granting you simultaneous damage benefits for both your lunar and solar eclipses. Increasing damage done by your nature and arcane spells by 54%. In addition, casting Moonfire also applies the Sunfire effect. Activating this consumes all your lunar and solar energy and prevents gaining any over its duration. Lasts 15 seconds. Don't remember that being in the game. And I have a feeling that that's a pretty amazing thing.